use this to kind of like give it enforcement at the end, and I'll show you that really all works. Okay, now, and you're welcome to stand up and stand around once I do this, and you know. Okay, the water, and I know there's lots of videos out there showing how to make rice paper. I found that using hot tap water works much better than cold water. The reason being is that you don't, now this, you want it to be soft, but you don't want soaking wet. Because once it has so much water in it, it tears very easily. Okay, but it's a lot more resilient than it looks. So go ahead and wet this. If you have a bigger bowl, it's better. Okay, you wet it, and since the water is hot, this is a little cold now, but it's hot, you know, as hot as your hand can stand. But if you can see, hot water evaporates much quicker. And so it doesn't leave any moisture on the paper. But once you do this, you hold it up and don't move it around, because once it's starting to stick to each other, it's really difficult to take out. So you hold it up like this. You see how it starts to get soft, but not wet. That's the key. That's why hot water works better, because it evaporates really quickly. And then what you have is a really soft paper, but not wet. So then you start to lay in a clean surface, straight surface, like that. Okay? And then you take another piece. You want to put it so the point, one point is towards you and the other point pointing away, like a triangle, the rectangle. This small one, same thing with this. Hold it up. Okay. Even though it seems like it's still a little, don't leave it in water until it's soft. Because once it's hot water is there, it will soften it. It's almost like it cooks it a little bit, so it makes it softer. So even though it still feels a little hard, just hold up, be patient, and just hold it up a little bit more until you can feel that it's getting a little soft and sticky. That's how you can tell. Okay? So, but you see there's no water down here. And then you just put it towards the end. And then what I do is I take a piece of lettuce, red leaf, green leaf is fine, and I try to avoid the core of lettuce since it's going to be hard. It will poke through your rice paper. And you lay it kind of towards you, in the middle, 3/4 of a way down towards you. Okay? And I put a little bit of the rice paper on, rice noodle on here. Lay some shrimp down. The filling can be anything you like. If you don't like shrimp, you can skip the shrimp. If you like beef, you can do beef. If you like fish, you can always grill fish. And a lot of Vietnamese restaurants here, they do 7 courses of beef. It's just rice paper with different beef cooked different ways. Basically, that's what that is. But it's all about the rice paper. Pickle, daikon, and carrots, just lay them down. And I love a lot of these, so I'm going to do a couple of leaves. If you want little. Okay, so once you have this, my pork. Okay, you want to lay everything, is it vertical, horizontally, this way. And everything needs to be julienne, nothing really hard that will tear the paper. So if you take a look at that and then you roll, you start taking, but you see how resilient this is? It's kind of stretchy. And don't be afraid of it. It'll be fine. It's only rice paper. You can always make it again. Right? So you fold it up. And here's the trick to folding this. Don't just fold it like this, but you actually waddle it like this. You see how I start folding? Like a piece of newspaper? Yeah. You see that? To make a really tight roll. Now, this is what Vietnamese, when my Vietnamese come out, is that I get when I teach, I get so picky about how tight my roll is. It has to be really tight. Because you don't, when you bite into it, you want it to be it's like rolling a joint. I've only seen it, okay? I've only seen it, never actually done it. Only seen it, but it's like that. Like this, in the movies, that's exactly, in the movies. So, anyway, so when you have this, and it will start to stick to each other, and then you keep, now you keep tucking. And you see, it drips a little bit, but it will mend itself. And you keep tucking, you keep pushing it down, you keep rolling it. But the one thing that's really important is to keep, you see how it starts to rip, but don't be scared, that's okay. Okay, and you push it down. You push it down, and you tuck it in, you push it down. You see? That's how you do it. Because you have a little bit of that reinforcement at the end.
Yeah.
You see, that's the trick. And so it has to be really.
Yay!
Okay.
That's great.
And this is what I tell my student, is that, you know, if you roll, and one way to test it is that if you cut it and things start to fall out, you didn't do a good job.
Wow.
Okay, so it has to be really tight, and you can feel it. Okay, here's the thing that I tell, if you guys want to do this for a party, you just lay everything on the table, just like how Vietnamese we